Jesus Christ, it has been a chunk of time since we've done this, haven't we? I feel really bad for all of you who were here just for the SCP stuff, considering it's been like 5 months since I recorded a readings video for you guys. If you've stuck around regardless, I want to give you, from the bottom of my heart, the biggest thanks I can for dealing with my bullshit, because in the meantime, I haven't posted a lick of anything related to SCP, and in fact, I've just gone on several different fucking side quests apparently. Lisa the Blink maxing. I think I did Stalker in that time. No, I did Stalker beforehand. Trench Crusade. Hell, I have fucking dropped the ball for the last few months. Damn. Last video was almost a month ago. Anyway, just once again, sorry, and I'm finally here with we're gonna talk about white people. 9009 white people after the contest. So these obviously haven't won, but they were very highly rated, and I have good feelings about them, or high hopes for them is what I meant to say. Anyway, but sorry to do this to you. Before I get into reading about white people, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you haven't seen it yet, go to my community posts, please, and if if it matters to you, please go vote on the poll on whether or not what I consider my main content, air quotes, would benefit from some background footage. Now, I currently do have a little bit of background footage pre-recorded. Hint, it is The Long Dark, a game I've been loving recently again. Um, Let me know in the future if you, again, I haven't posted a video with it yet, but let me know in the future if you think that's a good idea, if you think I should continue doing that. And while you're there, if you could kindly give me ideas on what to ramble or like talk about. Keep in mind, I generally keep them towards a more writing focused angle. I like talking and writing and doing all sorts of things. If you have anything related to writing you think I should add to the channel, please go ahead and give me your opinion on that, because it would be greatly appreciated. I'm very low on ideas. I'm still working on my D&D script. I haven't started recording any like background footage for that, and it's still like in its first draft phase and working through it, but it'll get somewhere soon. I promise you that much. I don't think there's anything else I have to say aside from I still have a DD2 video that I haven't put up for fucking 2 months now or some shit. And I am sorry that I keep sorry that I keep making you all wait for more content, if indeed you are waiting. I'll do my best to be better about that, but no promises. Anyway, without further ado, we should get into now SCP-9009, White People. And if we have time, we will go down and talk about SCP-9002, the bike that makes you racist. This was made by... if it's up here... what the fuck? Oh, that's just... Content warning. This article has depictions of racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, transphobia, explicit depictions of sexual acts, and general nastiness. Reader discretion advised. Keep that in mind. The following files have been classified top secret by order of the Yield Adapted Karyotypic Uniclonal Breeding Program Directorate. Yakub. Okay. Or I don't know how to pronounce it. This document is protected by JDV Class Memetic Kill Agent. Proceed at your own risk. Here is said JDV Class Memetic Kill Agent. That is a white guy. Ooh, this is interesting. I don't know the symbol. Okay, esoteric, Keter. Not Vlam. Damn. Disruption and risk. Doesn't look very high on the risk, pretty high on disruption. Oversight Index Ithaca. I think that's how it's pronounced. Special containment procedures. To prevent international turmoil and confusion, documentation related to SCP-9009 has been sealed under flag Wildfire September Tango, WST. The Foundation Intelligence Agency will maintain an index of known 9009 instances. Once confirmed, instances of 9009 are to be logged and tracked. Current estimates place the population of 9009 in the conservative range of 10 to 200,000, with instances deeply and prolifically embedded in almost every government, corporation, and organization on Earth. As a result, containment is not focused on strategic deintegration, but on bureaucratic reinforcement. Where was I? Sorry, I glanced at my phone. 9009 instances are to maintain their positions, with Foundation interference only permitted in the event that an instance inadvertently publicizes its anomalous nature. Ecological management and control of 9009 is under the purview of a joint committee consisting of professionals from a number of Foundation departments, including the Bioeco Department, Sociology Institute, Intelligence Agency, and Public Information Bureau. This committee is under the supervision of Special Projects Overseer 058. See description for further details. Footnote 1 under Bioeco, which is biology and ecology. Pretty obvious. Here's an image of representative examples of SCP-9009. I have no idea. Is that Mike Pence? Some political figures in America. What is that little thing there? Is that a cigarette box? I'm easily distracted. I apologize. It is 11 p.m. Description: SCP-9009 is a species of ambulatory humanoids, also known as Homo albicans, uniformly characterized by social and phenotypical mimicry of Caucasian males of European descent. This is accompanied by a passive perceptual masking effect, likely mimetic in nature, that causes others to perceive instances as human and to overlook or disregard instances' abnormal behaviors and mannerisms. Easily identifiable characteristics include typically resembling a middle-aged or older male. Footnote 2. Though some regional populations take on a younger appearance. Occupations in sedentary, corporate, and or white-collar jobs. Preference for common bland foods, baked potatoes, green bean casserole, etc. Okay, baked potatoes aren't bland if you can cook them right, mostly if you make loaded ones. Like stuff some meat in there, put cheese on it, salt, pepper. Mostly coherent yet atypical speech patterns, often marked by excessive verbosity, incongruous statements, and inappropriate word choice. Cute. Unusual, parentheses, but not entirely inexplicable, close parentheses, behaviors in public situations. Excerpt from 9000. Also, green bean casserole fucking sucks. Just felt the need to add that. Excerpt from 9009 assessment interview. Dr. Matherson. How many of you are out there? Who are you working for? 9009-0456. Let me start off by congratulating you on having initiative to ask these hard-hitting questions. Not a lot of people would be willing to ask these questions. Just come up and ask them straight up. Just come up and ask them straight up. Nope, not straight up nowadays. They're all too interested in that awful oriental pop and urban rap to ask questions like the questions you just asked me. Brave questions you're asking here. You've got some... Okay, I just got the bit. Dr. Matheson. Increase the voltage. The attending guard increases persuasion harness setting to persuasion harness setting to level 3. Matherson. I'm not going to ask a third time. Who the hell are you working for? 9009-0456. You're looking for work? If you're here for an interview, you'll have to talk to my secretary, but I'm sure I could put in a good word for you down the line, maybe at McKinsey's. It won't be anything fancy, mind, but a bright boy like you could really make something of himself. Like I said, you've got spunk. Loads of really thick spunk. Mamba mentality. Madison. Increase the voltage again? 353 subsequent lines omitted for brevity. How impressive that they were. To sit there and do that. Public Information Bureau has compiled a list of common 9009 properties and behaviors, as well as the appropriate and easily rationalized explanations for them. Access to the full list is granted at the discretion of PIB representatives on an individual basis. Cognitive behaviors. Speaking in a formal, archaic, or overly clinical language, excessively verbose. Explanation, well read in classical literature or historical texts. Lengthy pauses during conversation. Deep calculating or mindful thoughts. Repetitive and or unusual phrases or idioms. Neurodivergent. The physical ones. Extended periods without blinking. Simply fatigued from stressful workload or practicing improved eye contact. Refuses to eat or eats unusual food combinations. Dieting. Abnormal sleep schedule. Working overtime or polyphasic sleep. What the fuck is polyphasic sleep? Segmented sleeping during multiple periods over the course of 24 hours. Like intentionally? Yeah. Doesn't sound very good. Don't you want REM sleep to last as long as possible? Excessive sweat and secretions. Glandular or hormonal condition. Unsettling body odor. It's cologne. I like that shit. That's good. Hairless, rubbery skin. Skin care, laser hair removal, and or yogurt-based diet. As a yogurt male, I know how to keep my belly full without ruining Din Din or whatever the fuck that image was from like 2 years ago. Social. Social behaviors. Doesn't understand humor or sarcasm. Neurodivergent. Overreactions to seemingly mundane items or events. PTSD. Unusual question. Example, what are socks for? Explanation, a desire to start a conversation or research for a novel. That's funny, I like that one. Announcing the action the instance is currently taking. Practicing mindfulness or neurodivergent. When I do it, it's because I'm over calm. People can't see my bodily motions. Points at you. 9009 is indigenous to Western Europe. However, over the past 5 centuries, it has also formed stable breeding populations in North America, Oceania, and many other regions. See ecology for further information. I was hoping to be a link, even just like down in the file. Though the instance of 9009 has been known to the Foundation since its inception, due to the species' dramatic population explosion from 1975 to 2023, control of the global 9K9 population has been designated an ECI class priority. As a result, the Caucasian Regulation and Conservation Registry of the Cracker has been commissioned to manage 9K9 and direct them in serving the Foundation's interests. The following contextual documentation has been assembled by Cracker. What the okay, anatomical study of 9K9 instance. So this is like a skinned humanoid. I don't know. Oh, signature. Vander. Can't read that. It's like a medical diagram. Yet substantially more horrid. What is that hanging from the hand? Is it just showing the tissue but like elongated so you can get a clearer image? Oh, that's like if it peeled. Okay, okay. I get it now. Sorry, I'm not studying anything medically. Early documentation. Records of 9K9 have been recovered from numerous archaeological sites across Europe and the Middle East, ranging from the Neolithic period to late antiquity. Early Linear B testimonies refer to 9K9 originating from the island of Patmos, Greece. In the 18th century, botanist and zoologist Carl Linnaeus published the Systema Naturae, one of the earliest modern biological and cryptobiological classification works. In the fourth edition of the text, Linnaeus described the following 5 human species. Homo sapiens, or baseline humans. Homo monstrous or abnormal humans, possibly referring to SCP-1000. Interesting. Homo troglodyte, likely referencing anomalous humanoid entities. Homo fata, referencing native entities of the woodland of 1,000 names. That's definitely 4K. Yes, it is. That's really good. I like that. And Homo cryoformis, 9009 ice dwellers. Initial Foundation reports. Early documents from the admin court indicate that a knowledge of SCP-9009 was prevalent among higher echelons of early Foundation, with species designed, or rather designated, as a potential threat to normalcy. However, due to limited resources and manpower, little was done in the way of pursuing research or containment at the time. Footnote 3 for the admin court. Admin body of early Foundation, predating the chartering of the O5 Council. I like that idea. It's kind of cool. Administrator, blank blank, FW, Frederick W. Roosevelt. Probably not. 1908, treatise on the Glaciopithecus. Oh, that's really cute. So she's the half cat, because she was the original Foundation logo, like way back, like in the real life. That's really neat. The tundranoid species is a fascinating one. Discovered in the periglacial zones of Greater Eurasia, these creatures were first mistaken for pale, malformed monkeys or a colossal breed of Arctic rat. Closer study revealed them to be something stranger altogether, a type of man lacking any complex thought or awareness, yet exhibiting a singular talent for appearing as though they belong in charge. I like that. Their speech is often a stilted imitation of authority, yet few dare question it. Their gaze is void but unwavering. Their suits grow from their skin, yet are always pressed. When confronted with disobedience, they emit a kind of guttural groan that commands deference. This effect cannot be explained by pheromones alone. It is something deeper, perhaps a sort of psychosocial camouflage. Data redacted. Is that just what human brain? What is that brain? Further details are classified to Cracker personnel with clearance for Operation Gypsum Mayonnaise. What a horrible combination. Anatomy and physiology. Extensive research has been done on 9K9 instances' anatomy, as their bodies are typically well preserved upon death. Although outwardly humanoid, the internal physiology of 9K9 differs wildly from the mammalian baseline. Instances display non-standard circulatory, nervous, and lymphatic systems. Deviations are often insectoid in morphology, with the notable presence of a hard-shelled exoskeleton mimicking the appearance of various styles of formal wear, double-lidded compound pupils, and a circulatory and nervous system closely resembling that of the Lasius niger, or the common garden ant. Footnote 4 related compound pupils, resulting in unusual sideways blinking. Okay, reptilians, I understand. Well, insectoids, but the neuroanatomy of 9K9 instances is currently poorly understood. The brain lacks any cerebral folds, possibly due to the low surface area and smooth texture of the frontal and temporal lobes. Natural lesions are typically found covering the brain, which periodically leach an unknown blue liquid, currently theorized to act as a retardant against neuroplasticity. Literally wards them from having any, new thoughts. Ecology. 9K9's current ecological niche is that of symbiotic or commensal partner to Homo sapiens. Footnote 5. Personnel are not to refer to 9009 as a parasite. When in its adult form, a 9K9 instance will covertly enter an organization controlled by humans. If it succeeds, it will assume a leadership position, relying on its charisma to maintain its status. Let me take a sip of water real quick. In circles where 9K9 successfully integrate, they have been known to accrue vast quantities of wealth, which, according to leading theories, percolates down to Homo sapiens, enriching them in the long run. It's time for the percolator. In return, the humans working under a particular instance provided with food, shelter, income, and valuable psychospheric input data for its elaborate mating displays. Trickle-down economics do not work. To avoid detection by Homo sapiens and prevent input data pollution, the vast majority of 9K9 instances occupy positions that minimize close contact with other humans or 9K9 instances, which is facilitated by their characteristic wealth. However, in contrast to their otherwise solitary nature, 4 times per year, a gathering of multiple 9K9 instances will congregate in a particular location, often along baseline Homo sapiens. Observed gatherings have ranged in sizes from 3 to 535 individuals, usually take the form of a... Is that the American Senate's number? Or House of Reps? One of them, right? And usually take them in the form of formal meetings, such as corporation boardroom meeting, a legal trial, a church sermon, or a legislative session. 9K9 instances will participate as normal, attempting to master idiosyncratic behaviors, stalling the meeting until all Homo sapiens leave. Once this occurs, 9K9 instances have sex. Intriguing. 9K9 mating rituals were once believed to last a short amount of time, as individuals in 9K9 gatherings were observed to finish mating with their chosen partners within 15 minutes of all Homo sapiens leaving. However, while actual insemination of 9K9 instances occurs very quickly, the mating ritual spans hours or potentially days. Current theories posit that quarterly 9K9 congregations are a form of lekking, or a biological phenomenon where multiple animals form a group in which they compete for mating rights to facilitate sexual selection. 9K9 instances are highly selective in their mates and prefer to mate with individuals who are particularly skilled in human mimicry. This is why instances congregate in uncharacteristically public meetings, as this gives them an opportunity to prove to others they can convincingly present as a human, indicating the individual has high reproductive fitness. Here is 2 9K9 instances engaging in the mating ritual. Not quite sure who this creature is. This one is obvious, of course. What a small pin. What a garish tie. Life cycle. Leading Foundation sexologists, is that a real word? Hypothesize that 9009 instances are hermaphroditic. No evidence of non-choric sexual dimorphism has been observed in captive instances. Thorough observation of 9K... I'm not going to click that link. Thorough observations of 9K9 mating process evidences that 9009 mating pairs engage in a form of penis fencing. Actually, I do know what that is, because I just remembered it's like the stupid sea slugs in the ocean. Almost identical to the behavior of Pseudobiceros hancocknus, usually misidentified by civilian observers as frauding or other alternative forms of sexual contact. Insemination subsequently occurs through traumatic insertion into the epidermis. Yeah, I didn't know that word then. It is notable that inseminated instances of 9009 will continue to attempt penis fencing until the conclusion of the mating event. Ergo, mating events are likely to result in a high degree of genetic exchange and fertility, regardless of an instant's sexual fitness. 9K9 instances will seek out a suitable nesting location within 2 weeks of insemination. Footnote 7. Observed locations vary, but have included crawl spaces, basements, blank tunnels beneath the United States Capitol, redacted, and St. James Island. Is that going to get me flagged for saying? Once a nesting location has been chosen, instances secrete a blank substance. Rest of the sentence is censored. Subsequent data redacted by order of Cracker Command. Access terminal is located below. Resultant cocoon. Rest of the sentence is censored. Newly hatched specimens are physiologically and neurologically identical to mature 9K9 with visible discoloration of the exoskeleton. Exoskeletal biochrome matures and darkens 2 to 4 weeks after eclosion. 9009 displays a variety of exoskeleton coloration. What horrible cable management. What the fuck? Sorry. I choked on my own spit. Where was I? Alright. Afterward. Given 9K9's demonstrably lower intelligence relative to humans, including a lack of self-awareness and primary reasoning skills, advanced mimicry capabilities, and rapid reproduction rates, it has been determined by Cracker that 9K9 presents a suitable candidate for Operation Gypsum Mayonnaise. Details on the operation are classified and cleared to personnel under purview of Cracker. Oh, God. Okay. Still nauseous thinking about. I was in a call recently, as in, like, before I started recording this, my stupid friends, 2 of them are fucking drunk. Ugh. So I'm all nauseous because of thinking about that. How wonderful. Following files require 9009 gypsum mayonnaise clearance, which are accepted as we are Cracker personnel, of course. Why is he half-blood? What is that? Intriguing. Pink eye. Project overview. Operation Gypsum Mayonnaise was conceived as a program to transition the global political environment to a guided democracy facilitated by the Foundation and 9009 species. Footnote 8. Refer to citation Huntington, SP 2005. Are we transitioning towards a smarter democracy? Sociology Institute, SP Foundation. That's cute. I like that. Selected 9009 instances are to be embedded in UDL leadership positions across major private, public, and governmental organizations under the guidance and direction of Cracker. This operation presents a low-risk, high-benefit opportunity to curb the unpredictability and disorder that plagues human society, treating it with reinforced normalcy institutions. Do I remember 4444? I don't think I've read this one. Oh, DJ Cactus, how's it going? Background. The 2000 United States presidential election was a turning point for the Foundation's involvement in national politics. In order to prevent a breach of SCP-444, Footnote 9, an extra-dimensional symbiotic entity inhabiting the head of Democratic nominee Al Gore with the stated goal of preparing Earth for mass colonization by its species. Complete documentation is accessible under 9009 Gypsum Mayonnaise Clearance. Takes water. Is that one called Man Bear Pig? Hold on. I swear I recognize that. Bush v. Gore. Damn it. How's my driving? Anyway. In order political disinformation campaigns and media, a number of political disinformation campaigns and media manipulation efforts, fucking A, were implemented to ensure Dr. Lachlan Cairns, inhibiting the comatose body of George W. Bush, would win the electoral race. Footnote 10, internal designation Operation Ticonderoga Blue State. Ticonderoga, rather. The result of this was a victory for Dr. Cairns' Bush and cessation of activity by 4444. I see now. As it was expected that the late Bush's body would decompose within 1 or 2 months, I do not recognize this symbol. Thaumaturgic ritual was enacted to ensure that Dr. Carnes would continue to carry out the functions of the president. The next 4 years, the position of the U.S. president was held by a Foundation official. This allowed the strengthening of ties between the U.S. government and the Foundation and the procurement of extensive funds previously unattainable political capital. In 2001, the September 11th attacks, footnote to... Holy shit, this is a fucking file? Were the Twin Towers a file? It was 8963, 8963, 8. 9009. Inside job. Clever. That's fucking In 2001, the September 11th attacks by agents of Al-Qaeda and subsequent Manhattan dimensional collapse sparked a nationwide panic about security and homeland defense. Footnote 11 is on Al-Qaeda, suspected militant Islamic Front for the insurgency. I fucking love SCP lore so much, holy shit. Following the crisis, Dr. Cairns, still animating the body of President Bush, leveraged the crisis to authorize sweeping changes under executive privilege. With backing from the Bush administration, the Foundation influenced a number of key legislative efforts, including numerous provisions of the USA Patriot Act, passed to strengthen domestic security and bolster Foundation surveillance efforts. I actually really do like the idea that the Foundation is behind the Patriot Act. Fucking NSA. I know you can hear me. Manhattan collapse viewed through whatever symbol that is. Ray satellite lenses. I should have known, really. Is this the GTA map? In December, General George Bow of U.S. Paranatural Warfare Command, footnote 12, commonly referred to as the Pentagram or the Pentagram, the name is not an acronym. Cute. Approached the Foundation's Department of Applied Force to draft a bipartisan initiative for the advancement of American paranatural security interests. Upon Bow's arrival at Site 17, it was discovered that he, along with 38% of its personal staff, were unrecorded instances of 9009. In line with excellent containment procedures, Bow was released back into the wild, though not before approving several favorable procurement contracts that allowed Foundation front companies to access billions of dollars of American defense spending. Footnote 13. Foundation parapsychologists, having constructed extensive models of 9009 behavior, successfully exchanged Bow's signatures for items of candy and various textile goods. I would do a lot for a pack of sour gummy worms and a scarf. In light of the overwhelming success of Operation Ticonderoga Blue State and subsequent initiatives, O5 Command convened on 2002 to debate the possibility of using anomalies for political ventures beyond standard containment. 9K9 in particular is identified as a potential item of interest as a medium of political engineering. O5 Command.png. If anyone is watching this, maybe pass this message up that the picture broke. By order of the Overseer Council. Evident that the anomalous, in its countless and ineffable manifestations, both ontological and epistemological, continues to permeate the sinews of... Okay, I get the bit now. Continues to permeate the sinews of global governance, that its ungoverned presence challenges the very balance upon which civilization itself rests, and that, conversely, while such forces have been relegated to the shadowed precincts of containment and observation, they now present an unparalleled vector for recalibration of geopolitical paradigms. Interpretation committee translation. Allies have been around forever in most society, but they're now a tool we can use. Who wrote this? Can I please see? How do I... Oh, man. Whoever wrote this, you're fucking... I love you, man. That's good shit. Decided that the Foundation, premier custodian of the unknown and unknowable, shall, with all necessary caution, assume a more elevated posture, embracing a proactive praxis towards anomaly integration, in order to facilitate a socio-political dynamics through clandestine action. In other words, the Foundation will go from looking at anomalies to using them to influence politics. Resolved that henceforth anomalies, be they constructs of human creation, entities which possess paranatural properties, or phenomena beyond the laws of physics, will be assimilated into a stratified framework of influence operations, and that this influence will be leveraged in pursuit of diplomatic sway, economic anchorage, and nuanced action. All this will be done in the interest yet precluding the provision of the hoi polloi. Hoi polloi? I don't know how to pronounce that. In other words, the Council will use some anomalies going forward to secretly further Foundation goals. Therefore, the Council authorized the establishment of protocols, clandestine in both form and execution, to interpose anomalous assets within the stage of global power as instruments of coercion, persuasion, deterrence, or inducement, enabling an interlacing between anomalous and the mundane, whereby such interventions shall remain forever impervious to the perception of those under our establishment. Or, Council knows best. Instead of using anti-regime language, start doing this. Wrong. I think we should be able to be paid enough to feed ourselves. Instead, the regime knows best. You know the image I'm about? The regime knows best. As a result of this decision, Cracker's flagship program, Operation Chips and Mayonnaise, was authorized. Project documentation. Treatise on the Glaciopithecus 1908. Among the most unique attributes of Solaris Reflectus Maximus is their ability to generate consensus from sheer inertia. Ask one a question, receive 3 memoranda, none of which answer the inquiry, but all of which are stamped and initialed by 10 others. Attempts to correct and remove them tend to disappear into the committee. They are a stone wall against change, the sublime incarnation of systemic strength. Herein lies the true power of the Palindromes. I have often mused on what could happen if their influence extended beyond our humble walls. What if the apes were not merely tools of continuity, but arbiters of stability? Already we have discovered them to infiltrate diplomatic missions, financial oversight committees, and even upper political echelons. In one instance, an ape was mistakenly appointed Captain Regent of the petty Republic of San Marino, all after silently attending a luncheon. No one questioned it. The populace simply assumed he had always been in office. This, I believe, is the beginning of something greater. This world has, for years, been plagued by disorder, hamstrung by contradiction. But what if, instead, the world moved forward under the stewardship of those no one resists or questions? Perhaps, with the right direction, they could be more than seat warmers. Data redacted. During the early years of the Bush administration, Operation Gypsum Mayonnaise entered its first functional maturity phase, with the post-9/11 geopolitical scheme increasingly predicated on deference to perceived authority. Cracker analysis identified an unprecedented window for real-time testing. Early investigations revealed thousands of 9009 instances already embedded in corporations, organizations, and federal departments across the United States, creating a ripe opportunity for research. Operation Phantom Limb was initiated in summer 2003, engineered as a joint Foundation American military campaign in Iraq aimed at dismantling remnants of Ba-atheist rule in Iraqi military cells of the Chaos Insurgency. However, the operation's ultimate goal was to field test 9K9 integration within the United States military hierarchy, including the Department of Defense, influential neoconservative think tanks such as PANAC, and private defense contractors including KBR and Blackwater. 9K9 instances displayed excellent bureaucratic steadiness with the operational tempo slowing to the point of total organizational gridlock by 2004. I really love the idea that there's just a brand of white people that's whole deal is to be a stonewall in the government and they're all fucking morons. Oh wait, I live in that timeline. I'm frowning, you can't see it. Excerpt from Foundation Intelligence Agency GUI Threat Briefing 2003. Here's the Chaos Insurgency emblem. This is really, I like this. I think it references the red right hand theory where like, oh, they were tasked by O5 to fucking be a. I think that theory's stupid, or rather that can't continuity thread. Not the biggest fan of it. It is evident that no group of interest currently poses a greater threat to interest, the Foundation, and normalcy at large than the radical and anomalous terrorist organization calling itself the Chaos Insurgency. Diametrically opposed to the existence of the Veil, and captured personnel invariably express rational and persistent hatred for a Foundation and the way of life we defend. Attached is a brief summary of major suspected Chaos Insurgency operations of the late 20th and 21st century, with substantive hum-int and sig-int evidence gathered in corroboration. 1,235 confirmed instances of raids on Foundation sites internationally since 1973. 56 recorded public executions of Foundation intelligence personnel. The murder of Diana, Princess of Wales, using a multidimensional spectral automorphic apparition on August 31st, 1997. Footnote, ghost car. Yeah, I fucking got that. The ritual sacrifice and consumption of 213,335 golden retriever puppies. The collusion of American Airlines Flight 11 and United Airlines Flight 175 with one WTC and two WTC. Oh, World Trade Centers on September 11, 2001. It is the opinion of the Foundation Intelligence Agency and the Chaos that the Chaos Insurgency stands antithetical to the principles of democracy, liberalism, and freedom that the Foundation defends and continues to defend worldwide. I don't know if they defend fucking freedom. Foundation operations in the CI-controlled territory projected to meet with high levels of civilian cooperation and support. Oh, I'm sure they will. Following President Bush's re-election, Dr. Cairns had accumulated a significant quantity of physical and psychological stress due to prolonged occupation and repeated affliction of the ritual. Cracker evaluated options for retaining executive control while allowing Dr. Cairns to discreetly return to his prior role at the Foundation as Site 19 Personnel Director. Despite initial consideration, it was determined that 9K9 was not ready for deployment to the presidential position and that a human-bodied double was necessary to carry out the functions of the President's 2005 to 2008 term. Upon George W. Bush's body being exited by Dr. Cairns, it immediately disintegrated into a pile of thermoactive ash. Footnote 15. These remains are available for study at Site 19. Next 4 years, Agent Rance Fubbard, hell of a name, held the position of president due to his uncanny resemblance to George W. I fucking love this file. Facing a lack of qualified alternatives, Operation Gypsum Mayonnaise turned toward the 9009 project as a suitable or sustainable means of ensuring the Foundation's continued control and position to President of the United States. Interface 75, Operation Factor Headquarters. I do not recognize this building off. Real subtle, guys. I do not recognize this building off of the fucking dome, but it looks kind of lame. Where is this? Is it Medusa? Just looks like anywhere like in one of the like a Rust Belt state or some shit. Cracker meeting transcript 2009. In attendance, Mr. Chairman C. Yarvin, Vice President, Public Information Bureau, Mr. C. Coringer, Deputy Director of Operations, Foundation Intelligence Agency, Mr. T. Jerkwood, hell of a name. We spelling something again? No. Mr. T. Jerkwood, JD, Managing Partner of Legal Department, Dr. N. Taylor, Head of Research for the Bioeco Department, Dr. J. Peterson, Lead Psychologist, Sociology Institute. Begin log. Mr. Yarvin. Alright, as chairman of the Caucasian Regulations and Conservation Registry, I call this meeting of Cracker Command to order at 1930 hours EST. Sounds of shuffling paper. I'm sure we've all read the briefing, so I'll cut straight to it. Yes, Dr. Peterson, you have your hand raised? Dr. Peterson, are we going to say grace first? Mr. Jerkwood, I didn't know you were Christian. Peterson, I'm not. Just because I think Christian cultural values are the best path forward for Western society, it doesn't actually mean I necessarily have to believe in God, much less Mr. Yarvin. I think it'd be best if we moved on. All of us here have already worked extensively with 9009 Project. We're all familiar with these creatures, their mannerisms, predilections, behavior, and life cycle. All that remains is for us to take the natural next step. Gentlemen, by this time next year, President of US of A will be an Alabaster 8. I'm loving these words. Mr. Jerkwood, I have actually been meaning to bring up some professional concerns with the project. Mr. Corringer, to be blunt, this entire operation is a stupidly massive security risk. Puppeteering Bush was bad enough, but God, do you have any idea the level of operational complexity we're considering here? Thousands of personnel operating in Washington, D.C., in contact with the press day and night. There's simply no way to guarantee operational security. Mr. Yarvin, sorry to interrupt, but you'll find we have your concerns well in hand if you direct your attention to page 77 of the dossier. Have you seen the deep state doxes? Okay, it's just. Have you seen the deep state docs? Formatted like a green text. Deep state doc gets released. My face when global conspiracy of politicians and rich people in charge of everything. My face when democracy is a lie. My face when all mentioning politicians are alien puppets. Object class catter. Nice try, feds. There is no SB Foundation. It all comes back to them every single time. Oh my god, because catter's a Hebrew word. It's. I'm saying it's all the Jews. That's really fucking. That's really fucking good. Holy shit. I need to. That immediately earned it up. Oh man. I liked that. Mr. Corringer, what the hell is this? Mr. Yarvin, last year the Public Information Bureau ran a simulated information breach with heavily modified versions of gypsum mayonnaise documentation. It ran the gamut every level of exposure, the media, foreign intelligence services, hell, even the internet. You're looking at the results. Mr. Corringer, good God, if the O5 found out, you could be shot for this, Yarvin. Mr. Yarvin, who do you think approved the exercise in the first place? Mr. Jerkwood, what do three parentheses mean? Dr. Taylor, maybe some kind of technical documentation, cryptography, maybe a key. Peterson, amateurs. It means they think the Jews did it. Mr. Yarvin, Peterson's correct. Most of our targets dismissed the leaks out of hand. The intelligence agencies thought it was foreign counterintelligence. Journalists laughed at our operatives out of their room. The few that followed through, ranks, conspiracy theorists, nutjobs, they all went off chasing shadows, leaping at every disinformation scheme through their way. In the end, nobody sniffed us out. Mr. Corringer, let's speak plainly here, Yarvin. You're proposing the usage of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, baseless racist garbage, and disinformation measure for Operation Gypsum Mayonnaise. You're planning to empower these messages. Hell, even spread them yourself. Dr. Taylor, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with this. I mean, ethically speaking. Mr. Yarvin, why not? It's been standard foundation practice since the 30s. Taylor, excuse me? Yarvin, look, you all knew what gypsum mayonnaise entailed before you walked through that door, and all of you chose to be here. If any of you were too chicken shit to follow through and do what has to be done for the greater good of the Foundation, feel free to leave. Doors open. Don't fucking look at me like that, Coringer. You and I both know you've done worse for the cause. Coringer, fuck you. Silence on recording. Yarvin, looks like we're all still on the same page. Coringer, well, your disgusting little disinfo campaign aside, there's another big problem I think you're missing with in regards to the Slum Survivor plan. If you haven't already noticed, Yarvin, McCain isn't exactly leading in the polls right now. Jerkwood, yeah, that. How are 9K9 instances meant to replace people of color? Peterson, more liberal bullshit, just call them. Yarvin, not the time, Peterson, but yeah, I understand your concern. Recent pushes for diversity in government, coupled with certain long-running demographic trends, have unfortunately resulted in more and more non-Caucasians taking positions of leadership in government and industry. This, of course, runs contrary with the interest of the Foundation on several levels, which is why Dr. Peterson is here with us today. Peterson. Sociology Institute is already in the process of drafting several long-term initiatives to secure, contain, and ultimately neutralize the liberal agenda. We must secure the existence. I think I know what he's about to say. Mr. Yarvin. Yeah, thank you. We all look forward to seeing the results of your work. Coringer. That still doesn't solve our immediate problem. How are we going to use 9K9 to replace him? These things are good at what they do. I've seen the studies, but they're not shapeshifters. America wakes up tomorrow and notices Obama's suddenly the color of skim milk. People are going to notice mimetic camo or not. Yarvin. I was hoping our friends from BioEco might be able to help us with that, Taylor. Taylor. I'm going to be blunt. Plastic surgery, not going to work. Don't know what you were expecting. You realize these things have exoskeletons, right? Mr. Jerkwood. Perhaps some kind of body paint? Taylor. Jesus Christ, no. These things molt. It's not a big exposure risk because they usually do it out of sight and eat the leftovers, but that means we basically have to reapply the spray every single month. Coringer. That'd be a goddamn fiasco to spin a president getting spray tan in office. Total media circus. Peterson. I agree. Too risky from an exposure perspective. Sounds of shuffling paper. Yarvin. Hold on, I'm reading the bio report right now. Paragraph 4 under life cycle. These things are born with brown exoskeletons. Taylor. Near point. Yarvin. My point is that 9009 is clearly capable of producing melanin. Couldn't we, I don't know, find a way to make this strain of these things that just have more melanin than usual? Stumble over my damn words. Taylor. Good God. Yarvin. That isn't a no. Shuffling paper. Taylor. It's technically possible. Technically. They breed fast enough that artificial selection probably see workable results in a couple hundred generations, so 4 to 5 years under optimal conditions, but you need, good God, you need tens of thousands of instances, an underground lab the size of West Virginia, millions of dollars worth of mayonnaise, infrastructure alone. Are these voices going to overlap? Absolutely ridiculous. Most ludicrous proposal I've seen since. You can't actually be thinking. Impossible. Simply impossible. Impossible. Impossible is your word used by lesser men with the Foundation. Silence on recording. Gentlemen, the path is clear. We're going to breed 9,009 thousands of them. Hundreds of thousands. Mountains of male monkeys. Forests of frost giants. Seas of suit walkers. We're going to breed as many white people as we possibly can. End log. Following files require your cube clearance. Vanilos. Vanogenetics in life logic operations. We're just saying anything here. I fucking love it. Good thing I'm Mexican. Take a sip of water. Refinement Center. Primary purpose of Vanilla's facilities produce 9K9 instances suitable to function as figures holding positions of bureaucratic power, whether through insertion in the public or as substitutes for existing public figures. This is the purpose of the Refinement Center, in which 9009 instances are surgically altered to emulate the appearance of select public figure, trained to replicate their behavior. Due to limited capacity of the Refinement Center, local universities, business fraternities may be used as overflow. Cute. Concerns to veil integrity in this case are minimal due to similarities between behavior of businesses, fraternity members, and their insufficiently trained 9K9 instances. 9K9 instances that enter a refinement center are largely to be taken from the training center, see below. As such, while most of them are suitable for conversion, public figures, occasional defective units, approximately half, are sent to the remediation facility. Here's the training center. Second largest facility in Vanillos, serves as the purpose of acclimating 9K9 instances to leadership in human society before they're assigned specific roles in refinement center. Vast majority of the tasks given in instances in the training center under supervision of the Foundation's Coconut, the AIC, drastically decreasing the need for human technicians, which would require both large salaries and extensive security clearance. Cute. Tasks given to 9K9 instances test human skills developed in spatial navigational center. These include, but are not limited to, mock meetings given to instances, typically as either recorded videos to mimic video conferences or as virtual reality and hologram projections of humans. Meetings are largely designed to test instances' patience, engineered to last several hours without pause. Tactful messaging tests, in which instances are trained to send emails based on textual prompts. Cute. The final test, in which 9K9 instances is to, by its own accord, claim and convincingly prove to Coconut, the AIC, that it is the leader, CEO, president, etc., of the simulated workplace in which it has been placed. Upon completing this test, 9K9 instances automatically promoted to the refinement center. Ultimately, approximately 10% of instances able to reach and complete final test satisfaction of Coconut, the AIC, and are subsequently sent to refinement center, remainder dispatched to remediation facility. Are we non-Euclidean? The geometry. What am I looking at here? Anyway, Spatial Navigational Center. Ugh. I am kind of sleepy. Is large facility in Vanillos, initial testing area for newly created 9K9 instances intended to acclimatize them to human-made environments. All areas of the Spatial Navigational Center are constantly monitored by HRAIC for HR, cute, for 9K9 instances possessing confident posture, charismatic face. Speaking of, oh, hot damn, just cracked the fuck out of my back. That was good. Charismatic facial expressions, palatable facial structure, high skin albedo. Instances matching these characteristics automatically promoted to the training center. To accommodate the large number of 9K9 instances within it, the Spatial Navigational Center is artificially inflated in size via introduction to 184. Hey, is this the second time we've seen 184 in a file? It is. Interesting. Three-dimensional maps of the complex suggest the internal volume is 10 times larger than one would expect from measuring exterior. So yeah, I was right. It is non-Euclidean geometry. This is the pragmatic side effect of augmenting the reality's geometry to resemble a colossal three-dimensional labyrinth composed of offices, cubicle spaces, break rooms, lounge areas, and other corporate environments. Feeding is accomplished with nordomorph nutrient paste, proprietary protein-rich blend of macro and micronutrients optimized for 9K9 health. Substance is deposited in troughs at unpredictable times throughout the day. It's accompanied with email notification noises to condition instances to associate the sound of email notification with food. That's fun. During the time spent in Spatial Navigational Facility, instances learn human skills, including bipedal locomotion, interacting with doors, cabinets, elevators, tool use, and fine motor skills, eating solid food. More importantly than flawless execution of these skills is the outward appearance of competency while performing. An instance that confidently exhibits incorrect demonstration is more favorably assessed by HR than one that diffidently displays the same behavior correctly. In the end, 5% of 9K9 instances sufficient quality promoted training center, 95% to remediation. What interesting beasts. Oh, the brood mother. Cultivation facility. 9K9 instances are incubated with modified blank Zarshan hominid replicators, or bazaars? BZHRs, salvaged from 2000, enabling the facility to produce several thousand viable instances per day. Footnote 16. Note that due to salvage of numerous critical components from because of a bunch of bullshit from 2K, including several hundred SRA and exact devices, the original facility is no longer functional. See Addendum 2K1 for cover story. Intriguing. Each behavior is capable of assembling a fully grown SCP-9009 instances in 6 hours. Due to the inability of the behaviors to replicate, that's what I'm gonna call it. Or bazaars. I'm gonna go, fuck it, I'm assuming. Holy fuck, I'm tired. To replicate 9K9 biology from scratch, they first require premature 9K9 egg to jumpstart the process with viable DNA. As such, 9K9 eggs must be procured using augmented 9K9 natural breeding procedures. To facilitate this, several particularly successful SCP-9000 instances 9009 have been designated as breeding stock. These instances' hormones have been altered to enable them to produce large quantities of premature eggs to maintain genetic diversity. New instances are regularly captured and introduced to inseminate Vanilla's breeding stock. Currently, he's mentioned twice in files. 9K9 instance with the highest fecundity is 9K9 Rocket Surgeon, Elon Musk. At any given moment, Rocket Surgeon contains between 500 and 1,000 eggs in various stages of development. While its head, legs, and exoskeleton remain the same size they were prior to its tenure as Vanilla's breeding stock, Rocket Surgeon's egg load has stretched out its body cavity to nearly 20 meters in length and 4 meters in diameter. As such, it is being continuously washed with moisturizing cream by Vanilla's employees to keep its skin pliable so it does not rip or tear. Personnel are encouraged to converse with the entity about technology, economics, and politics while doing this, as it's known to relax its cloacal sphincter, increasing the rate of egg deposition. Remediation facility. Due to the fact the vast majority, approximately 99.91% of created 9009 instances, are not of sufficient quality to use public figures or breeding stock, they must somehow be safely and efficiently removed. A job performed by the on-site remediation facility. Due to information security concerns, instances are not to be released outside of your cube due to space and sanitary concerns that cannot be hosted within vanillas for a extended period of time. As such, all surplus instances are to be fed in a facility of 1,000-ton industrial macerator. Once a 9K9 instance passes through the macerator, the resulting slurry is then fed into pressurized pipe, pumps it through an automatic processing facility. From here, raw 9K9 slurry is pasteurized, filtered, and fortified with nutrients to form nordomorph nutrient paste other instances consume. Whoa, a fucking orb to look at. I liked that, that was cool. Thermo-ionic core. The entire Vanillos engine is powered by the thermo-ionic core located at the base of the facility. State-of-the-art quantum generator harnesses energy from 037 in an efficient and controlled manner. Have I read you before? 037 is a miniature main sequence star measuring yeah, I have 5 centimeters diameter, luminosity of 3.83 times 10 to the power of 14 watts. It harnesses energy from this in an efficient controlled manner. Primary suspension globule is enclosed with 18 concentric rotating rings stabilized its intense radiation output. Safety concerns have been raised about using such potent energy source. Vanilla's engineers have confirmed that not only is the thermo-ionic core completely renewable, but has far lower casualty rate than mundane sources of power. Only deaths so far have been from handling mishaps with the enormous power output of thermo-ionic core. Constant power can be supplied to the energy-intensive facilities of Vanilla's engine, including the numerous bizarre units, hundreds of kilometers of cutting-edge plumbing, and the 1 kiloton macerator. Can you tell I am very tired? Oh hey, the drunkard responded. Fuck, I already replied to that. Oops. No, you didn't? Question mark? I sent her a link to this really cool place I found where it's like 20% off these really interesting like forage and like wild food books. I don't know. Thinking about buying it. Like verbally. Yeah. But sorry guys, you're hearing a one-sided conversation. But let's be real here. You're not gonna remember what you said in the morning. Hell, I'm sober. It was about an hour ago. I don't even remember what you said. While she responds, I'll continue reading. 9K9.oreo.ucav. On 2014, the 12th of March, following 816 days and 1,255 successive generations of continuous selective breeding, the Vanillus engine produced 7 operational instances of 9K9 Oreo-ucav instances, reliable public mannerisms, relatively predictable speech patterns, and high melanin content, expanded technical capabilities of Ucube Directorate, and accelerated the timetable of Operation Gypsum Mayonnaise. I am gonna remember I'm not that cooked. Oh yeah? Then what did you say? In 2014, not September, August 28th, at 1 p.m., Yaku personnel embedded with the United States Secret Service temporarily neutralized sitting President Barack Obama, deploying 9009 Oreo.ucav to take his place in a meeting with John F. Teft, then U.S. Ambassador to the Russian Federation. Footnote 18. 9009-8485 is what John F. Teft is. Due to scheduling constraints at this time, Oreo-ucav exoskeleton had not yet hardened to the standard dark blue or black hue of the mature 9K9 instance, resulting in minor media controversy. However, Foundation analysis concluded that Oreo-ucav's overall behavior fell within Gypsum mayonnaise margins. Here is a still frame of the field test of 9K9 Oreo.ucav. IDK, yeah, figures. Mediterranean book won't apply to us. Parentheses, even though it will. Then you scrolled down and found a book you would fit better. Then we discussed apothecaries. Then we, parentheses, briefly discussed aquaponics before I got sidebarred. Following this trial run, 9K9 Oreo-ucav permanently took the place of President Barack Obama, with the later amnesticized and later reintegrated in society with Foundation approved cover identity as a used car salesman in Bakersfield, California. Footnote 19. Fuck yeah. Update. As of 2015, the 3rd of January, Barack Obama has disappeared from his residence. Current location is unknown. As of 2016, February 23, purported sightings of a figure resembling Barack Obama's cybernetic and thaumaturgic enhancements in recent chaos and certainty rates have been confirmed false by FIA analysts. Update. As of 2018, April 29th, Mecca Obama has decimated MTF and NU7 garrisons surrounding Site 17 and remains at large. Fuck yeah, Mecca Obama. I don't know very how human, you know what? I'll talk about it when I can focus. Drink water. Keep a bucket handy. Tie your hair back. And yeah, I'm gonna bold this shit so she knows I'm serious. Go to bed. Fuck's sake. It's 12, girl. Time to turn in. By quarter one of 2015, it was evident that Operation Gypsum Mayonnaise has been a historic success. Cube subsequently was allotted an additional 4.5 billion US dollars in annual funding. What is this symbol? Recent 9009 breeding efforts have demonstrated instances require more varied diets than initially thought to ensure proper carapace formation. 1 milligram per kilo of polyethylene microplastic powder has been added to the instance's daily regimen of nonomorphic nutrient-based. The world ain't spinning no more. Oh, you cannot type. Please go to bed before I tell your fucking husband next time. I'm gonna call with him. SCP-9009 instances have begun engaging in cannibalistic behavior believed to be a result of mistaking other instances from neuromorphic nutrient-based V1.1 due to its pale beige color and smooth texture. Remember, this additional polyethylene roughage and carbon black food dye has been added to all future shipments of neuromorphic nutrient-based V2 to give it a dark brown appearance and rougher texture. Yeah, I knew that would fucking happen. Update. Neuromorphic nutrient-based V2 has been discontinued as SCP-9009 instances have begun to engage in coprophagia. If you don't know what that is, do not look it up. Snitch. Then go to bed. You ain't even capitalizing eyes or the first letter of sentences. Say goodnight to folks. It again. Apologies. I have to fucking convince my drunk friend to go to bed. During the remainder of its tenure, Oreo-UCAV was primarily used to advance the foreign policy agenda of the Foundation, utilizing U.S. military and intelligence apparatus to combat the ever-growing threat of the Chaos Insurgency. Sustained aerial campaigns and strategic deployment of counter-terrorist forces enabled the Foundation to destroy insurgency forces in Yemen, Syria, and Libya, with pro-insurgency dictators toppled to cripple the terrorist group's paramilitary network. By 2016, insurgency operational capability in the Middle East was reduced by 47%. I'll watch anime then pass out. Pause. Completely refuses to listen to me. Instead of going to bed, she's gonna watch fucking anime. The remaining 6 instances of Oreo-UCAV were recycled back into the Vanillus engine, allowing the creation of 9K9 instances of variable coloration and racial phenotypes. Footnote 20. While female-presenting instances have been successfully developed, production is limited due to a lower communicative efficacy coefficient in observacing mimetic fields? What? By July of 2016, the Yakub Directorate achieved nearly 80% saturation rates of 9K9 instances in all relevant C-suite, civil admin, and military industrial positions in the United States, Canada, and Western Europe. Footnote 21. Bioeco Department estimates 100% saturation at 1.8 to 3.7% of global population. Despite having a net worth of over 36 billion, having held 3 CEO positions, the entrepreneur Dr. Blank Blank was found to have no government ID, no passport, no birth certificate, no doctoral diploma, no GED. Despite Foundation interference, long-standing belief that Dr. Blank's talent, education, and diligence led to his wealth is now being called into question by the public due to the implication of the discovery of his immigration status. In the final quarter of Oreo UK's presidential term, Yakub Chairman Curtis Yarvin requested that Yakub take advantage of the flexibility afforded by an entirely new presidential candidate and design one precision-engineered exclusively to further foundation interests. To ensure that such a candidate would succeed in the election against the opponent with less favorable views but greater popularity, Mr. Yarvin drafted a joint plan with the Medical Department, Public Information Bureau, and Intelligence Agency to systematically alter the result of U.S. 2016 presidential election. The plan was ratified by the heads of directorate and boards of all 3 departments and by the Yakub Directorate, with steps preemptively taken to initiate it. My spit is foaming up because of how much I'm talking. However, in a 12-to-1 vote, O5 Council decided against any and all tampering with 2016 U.S. presidential electoral votes. The decision was made to preserve sanctity of all American democratic institutions such that they may survive even if foundation is to collapse. Despite Yarvin's insistence, O5 Command vetoed vote at the proposal. Nonetheless, Yakub is still encouraged to introduce a candidate to a 2016 electoral election, provided they did so through legal and ethical means. I love low poly spinning Trump. That's fucking hilarious down there. As such, Yakub Director engineered following candidate fine-tuned to reflect desires of the American people. Happy Accident. New model, Happy Accident, features several cutting-edge enhancements over prior models. Iron-infused carapace provides a unique, marketable orange hue that is nonetheless still recognizably Caucasian, whilst also granting instant resistance to ranged fire. Cute. Reality TV subspecies genome splicing. Enhances controversy manufacturing phenotype, assisting in the instances in creating smokescreens for covert Foundation activity. An attitude for the people. Recent polls suggest that most Americans are dissatisfied with their current standard of living and desire for something to change. As such, the model has been trained to observe the actions of politicians and, in response, do the diametric opposite. Kinesthetic excellence. Advanced physics modeling and extensive human trials were undertaken to identify the optimal handshake pattern that maximizes intimidation whilst keeping the likelihood of aggravated assault charges within an acceptable margin. Oh, yeah, his weird ass fucking like back and forth jerking handshake motion that he stopped doing because people started doing it back to him. Biodiverse scalp, intriguing. While initially designed to be bald, clinical trials revealed that Happy Accident had a uniquely ecologically rich microhabitat on its apicranium, most notably including the presence of an extraterrestrial macroorganism that superficially resembles hair. While Foundation analysts do not expect Happy Accident to win 2016 U.S. presidential election in light of a short development timeframe, they have nonetheless released it into the public and primary as a proof of concept for future models. September 2016 update. He fucking won. That is not a direct quote, I just felt it'd be funnier to say. Foundation materials scientists extract 9K9 stubbornness for use in flexible, corrosion-resistant vessels. Attempted assassination of 9K9-3826, mayor of Fort Worth, Texas, via automatic firearm occurs during public speech. Mayor continues speaking, despite his body containing upwards of 50 bullet holes, until he eventually expires 1 hour later. Incident widely derided online as overzealous publicity stunt. 2018 update. Following a large number of helpful learning experiences gained in the process of caring for Happy Accident, handling employees assigned to the instance have developed following instructional pamphlet. Wilson's Wildlife Solutions, how I love you. Greetings, Trump handler. We had to oversee a number of, let's just say, unique cases over here at Wilson's Wildlife Solutions ever since the Foundation's facilitated a peaceful and a voluntary transfer of leadership. Perhaps not as more unique than Happy Accident, though you can call him Donnie or Trumpy when your coup director isn't around. They really keep us on our toes. Now, without further ado, there's a few things you should know when watching Happy Accident on the clock. Happy Accident, like all yogurt apes, has a complex set of unique, subtle facial expressions to indicate how he feels. In the event that he makes a face like one you see here, you must act quick. First of all, discreetly approach him under the guise of informing him an urgent national security concern. This way you can whisk him away with minimal interruption from his many fans. Lead him towards a secluded area, e.g. behind a curtain, under a stable, or inside a vehicle, and allow him to do his business. Be warned the smell is quite strong. Here he is sagging for his pants having an unhappy accident. Cute. Happy Accident is strongly food motivated and can be feisty when you want something to eat. While this can be an issue, it's also something you can use when a pin to keep him away from harm. In one case, we were able to lure him away from an inopportune meeting. Is my phone charging? Shit. Yeah, it is. Inopportune meeting event with a 1.1 kilometer long trail of bacon grease. Note that unlike most other cream chimps, Happy Accident is very particular in what he likes to eat. He will only consume his weekly normal of nutrient-based supplements if it's flavored with at least 2 pureed McDonald's Filet-O-Fish. Oh my fucking god. Sandwiches per liter of paste. Ugh. What a repulsive comment. Here's an image of him curious about the taste of Laura Ingram's earwax. While we at Wilson's Wildlife Solutions, in an ideal world, would want all creators to have their own unique personalities, we have to admit that occasionally Happy Accident forgets to do his job. Thankfully, we have an in-house solution for exactly situations like these: a simulated training ground where Donnie can interact with politicians freely, without potential of negative side effect of chewing on their limbs. Remember to reward good behavior. If he treats him with respect, but not too much respect, give him his favorite food. Footnote 22. A 10 to 5 to 1 mixture of corn syrup, butter, and table salt. Oh my god, if I wasn't very acidic in the throat, I think I would have fucking screamed. Not really, people are asleep. Here is Happy Accident during routine socialization with the Bill Clinton animatronic. Holy shit, he looks very fake. Why is he holding his fucking drink with a napkin? Overall, despite many hurdles in keeping its behavior to presidential standards, which unfortunately appear to be rapidly lowering, yeah. Happy Accident was highly successful in furthering Foundation interests. increased U.S. isolationism, considerably reduced tampering from UN global occult coalition, increased Foundation influence over U.S. Multiple unpalatable yet necessary foreign actions by the Foundation were successfully carried out with minimal scrutiny, as both sides' political eye were successfully distracted. Conservative identifying population blocks were drawn to the scapegoats created by Happy Accident, while liberal identifying blocks were drawn to Happy Accident's latest outbursts. Most crucially, immigration restrictions have drastically improved Foundation's ability to monitor checkpoints for clandestine and chaos insurgency assets. Fucking A. Microsoft CEO 9K9-62988 discovered removing CPU chips from data center in San Jose. When interviewed, subject claimed to be diversifying into the snack food sector. Intriguing. Well, my throat is very sore. While Happy Accident's first term has, thus far, been highly successful, several Yakub Directorate members have noted concerns with Happy Accident's mimetic effects on the American populace, such as an increase in bigotry, a reduction in trade, and a lukewarm response to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Oh, sorry, I actually added an and for no reason. And perhaps most concerningly of all, a growing distrust of American democracy. However, Mr. Yarvin remains that these losses are not only minor in comparison to the gains precipitated by Happy Accident, but have several understated benefits of their own. With the 2020 presidential election approaching the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, Cracker Command Executive Cabinet suffered an unprecedented schism with regards to the continued operation of Happy Accident. The Pro faction, headed by Chairman C. Yarvin, pointed to the manifold benefits Foundation accrued during the administration of Happy Accident, advocating for a Foundation-sponsored second term, whereas the anti-faction, headed by Taylor, dissented, citing the mismanagement of COVID pandemic response to general uptick in social unrest as growing threats to primary mission of the Foundation. The decision was ultimately deferred upwards to 05, who had issued the following statement. In light of recent considerations, it would be prudent to recalibrate this approach toward In light of recent considerations, it would be prudent to recalibrate this approach toward one that is both more measurable and grounded in practical realities. Moving forward, you are to apply a more strategic lens to this process. In other words, consider appointing a candidate that isn't totally incompetent this time. 9009 wet cardboard. Fuck yeah. Joseph R. Biden, former deputy of Oreo UCAV, was chosen as UCAV's premier presidential nominee as a more moderate alternative to incautious aggression of Happy Accident presidency. Wet cardboard was inserted in presidential race as Democratic nominee running against Happy Accident. Once again, executive decision was made to avoid interfering with election results in order to facilitate the democratic process. Inconveniently, wet cardboard had been retired since 2017, but due to accrued cognitive decay, specialized teams were dispatched to Site 98 storage morgue to restore instance using 427. Is this the green slime? No, it isn't. Of course it is, but I remember 427. What is 427? Right! It's 500 pill and very fine. What's the slime? It's 300 something, right? However, due to unforeseen interactions with 427 and 9009 biology, wet cardboard retains significantly decreased cognitive faculties following revival. Footnote 24. Research into what cognitive faculties, if any, existed prior is ongoing. Cute. Despite this impairment, wet cardboard secured the presidency in 2020 November, defeating Happy Accident. Here is his remarkably stylish, marketable aviator glasses to hide his hexagonal compound eyes. Please tell me you have something mildly edited in there. Damnation! Wet Cardboard's platform was characteristic of 9009 instances, middling, non-committal, and ultimately futile, providing a refreshing return to the balanced normalcy. Just like it never left. Instance was responsible for enacting numerous relief programs for those affected by COVID-19, including 1,400 USD stimulus checks to citizens, $300 US. What the fuck am I saying? 300 USD weekly relief for the unemployed, 17 billion US dollar thank you donations to Syncor Pharmaceuticals Inc. What the fuck? Let's do it. Oh god, I'm fine. Oh, I'm not fine. Wet Cardboard additionally oversaw the successful restoration of the nation's GDP, with the aggregate statistics successfully distracting public opinion from increasing income disparity. Pandemic quarantine restrictions were ultimately lifted by the end of the year due to waning popular interest and a measured absence of consequences on the stock market. Meanwhile, initiative began to create a forked model of rocket surgeon Elon Musk due to instances high fecundity and superior genetics, the cultivation facility. After the design was finalized, the cover story was engineered. Rocket Surgeon V1 was released to the public with 150 billion USD in assets and funds. Footnote 25. primarily financed by Ethereum mining software built into SkipNet. That's interesting, actually. I like that idea. Catapulting the instance to the rank of richest hominid alive. However, it quickly became evident that further development was necessary after rocket surgeon expired in a tragic and unforeseen accident. Here, he forgets to exit his 2008 Roadster prior to being launched to orbit. That's funny. In August 2021, evidence surfaced that Foundation's doctrine of worldwide containment was, in part, contributing to 6,500. Oh, I recognize the number. Oh, you're a big one. Allegata Audio. Davite, yeah, you're fucking huge. S&C Plastics? Hold on. Oh, wow, this is like a common thing. Hey, it's gone. Fuck yeah. Hey, Sumerian. Happy to see that. How does the alphabet work? Anyway. Huh? Eric. I should have known. Fucking, I'm stupid as hell. Contributing to 6,500, a fitness class event resulting in mass extinction of anomalous phenomena worldwide. Several internal publishers independently found that the event was being severely exacerbated by the mass proliferation of 9K9 due to the species' passive release of D-thalmahexane from instances anuses, as well as their ecological niches and invasive opportunivores. However, officials from Sociology Institute stressed the importance of caution in response, citing the lack of scientific consensus supporting Foundation containment as primary cause of 6,500. Ultimately, in November, Ohio Command voted to preserve the tradition of containment with goals set to reduce anomalous extinction rate by 2030. By quarter 1 of 2022, the baseline anomalous extinction rate was 3 times that of pre-industrial levels. Inspectors from Cube determined that this was within acceptable margins. Due to the careful vigilance and being perceived as criminal institutional negligence, the GOC Council of 108 convened on February 17, 2022, to discuss the escalation of global hostilities with the Foundation. In response, O5 Council authorized UCube Directorate to proceed with Operation Falling Dagger. UCube Subproject 1937. Due to impending aggressive action by GOC towards Foundation, one of the UCube's primary agendas was to strategically integrate 9K9 instances into the GOC's core leadership organs. The Council of 108, consisting of secret organizations all around the world, comprising of legislative body of the GOC, has parliamentary oversight over the agency's functions. However, only 5-member organizations of the Council possess absolute veto power. The Illuminati, the Knights Templar, ICSA, Church of Satan, and Silicon Norner. 9K9 instances are covertly inserted successfully in diplomatic and leadership bodies of these organizations. As such, organization representation of the GOC Assembly was handled entirely by 9K9, allowed for all resolutions to be halted unless compliant with the directive of UCube. The Undersecretariat, more commonly known as High Command, possesses executive power over the entire agency, yet ultimately dependent on a small number of key admins. Council of 108 impeached the existing bureaucrats in these positions before appointing 9K9 instances to all of them. International Court for the Paranormal determines and interprets what is lawful according to the International Paralaw Codex. Foundation-sponsored external review determined that the codex was flawed in numerous facets, as such, revised by the Council of 108 to align more closely with GOC's missions of survival, concealment, and protection. Quite subtle. UCube confirmed new forward-thinking justices allow the previous ICP justices deaths, retirements, or imprisonments. Insane clown policy. All of 2023 Assembly GOC, the Council of 108 at the 2023 Assembly GOC, the Council of 108 resolved to pursue more progressive immigration policies in European free ports. Over the next quarter, 730,009 instances were naturalized in European states, accounting for 92% of immigration quotas across the continent. City of Yurtek, home to 1.8 million residents, which are 17.2% 9K9. GOC is consequently reclassified as asset of Foundation. In the wake of the Titan submersible disaster, replacement OceanGate CEO 9K9 75628 constructs a new identical submersible in the gambit to enter euthanasia business. In a bid to get back at the pedo guy, Rocket Surgeon V7 unintentionally self-terminates 1.1 kilometers below sea level via failure of the V2 submersible styrofoam hull. How fun. July 12, 2023, Foundation Counterterrorism News 7 enacted a raid in Chaos Energy's Y-Fire base. Where's that Yada? I don't know. Subterranean compound recently discovered underneath Site 19, footnote 26. Initial forensic evidence demonstrated the structure had been inhabited for at least 75 years prior to the raid. Please fix your posture, guys. Compound held the terrorist organization remaining forces. The brief firefight engineer was escorted by Xi-13 agents in the Delta Command War Room. Engineer is a code name used by Chief Military Intelligence Officer of the Chaos Insurgency. Delta Command War Room. The individual was reportedly identified as such due to his oversized swivel chair and general body odor. Engineer was then shot and killed. Y-Fire base seized, marking end of Foundation's campaign against para-terror. Development of replacement 9K9 instance underway. See Project Honeypot for more details, which you cannot click on. However, forensic pathologists at Site 11 determined that the engineer's person were at least 26 dead man switches, each rigged to launch cyber attack on critical Foundation data backups, running on easily exploited legacy software. Before raids, the cybersecurity specialist could respond to the breach. At least 1.5 terabytes of data was leaked, including confidential information on the coup project and associated 1999 documentation. Despite the best efforts of the PIB, implemented cover stories 173A, speculative creative fiction. Cute. The leaks were able to spread widely among conspiracy theorist circles that mass amnesticization was considered infeasible. Immediately following the initial notification of attack, Foundation-wide emergency was instated, warning all personnel level 1 partial lifted veil scenario. Emergency session of Wolfhound Command was convened to discuss possible activation of Ganymede Protocol, as well as activating Foundation First Strike nuclear submarines. Below is an example of popular discourse surrounding the Theta breach. Is this classic Reddit? Fucking A. What's this Skip Foundation thing everyone's talking about? I've sort of seen memes about this Foundation and 9009 and all this crap out of the internet, but no lamestream news outlets seem to be covering it. Is this some stupid over 9009 meme? Is this a cover-up? Does anyone know what's going on? I think we all know who's behind this. By Big Balls Swing Free. We are these. Oh, we are the Serpent's Hand. For the last fucking time, it's not the Jews. It's fifth dimensional God angels from Hyperborea. God is coming. God is coming. Ultimate Gentleman 555. Fun fact, species of fly that parasitizes livestock. Government breeds male flies, irradiates to make them sterile, leads them to the wild to mate with females to decimate their population. Now what do you think the government's trying to do with white people? Breed sterile insects look like us, consider that testosterone's been declining for decades, also X-ray TSA scanners. Make them charismatic chads so females gravitate towards them. They fuck but can't produce children, which will go extinct. Let's give this one Reddit gold. Following the evident success of PIB, active information campaign regarding chips and mayonnaise, O5 de-escalated Foundation worldwide readiness status. PIB allocated an additional $65 million in disinformation funding for the first quarter of 2024. Rocket Surgeon V15 self-terminates motor vehicle accident shortly after achieving Guinness World Record for largest number of people run over whilst driving an automobile. His last words were reportedly, "The road is my canvas, this car my brush, these children my paint." Yacoub chair clearance, which we of course are. Result of the uncouth actions admin for Happy Accident, Donald Trump, subsequent rapid muscle degradation of wet cardboard, Joe Biden. Councils concluded the operations of Yield Adaptive Karyotypic Uniclonal Breeding program to be halted henceforth, assets transferred to Special Project Supervisor 058. Or Yacoub's a failure, we're shutting it down because Trump's an imbecile and Biden's senile. Senile. To Jerkwood from Confucius Cockroach. Subject cancellation. They what? Curtis. To Confucius Cockroach from Jerkwood. Subject OFAB cancellation. Yeah, I don't understand it either. We're currently the most effective project Foundation in history. Why on earth would they cancel it? Do not let this leave Yacoub email server under any circumstances, but I'm beginning to believe there might be compromised assets in the council. My better judgment says all the insurgency, but we've made a lot of enemies in the past few years. Thomas. To Jerkwood from Confucius Cockroach. What we're looking for is sudden, unusual dissent in council members' voting patterns. First of all, we can exclude the ones who voted to keep the program, which goes out 1, 2, 7, and 10. We can also rule out 3, 9, 12, and 13, because even though they voted against us, they've been doing it consistently. This leaves 4, 5, 6, 8, and 11, which how much support he's given us in the past. I think 8's dissident is most suspicious. Try to access the voting records. You did number crunching. Curtis. Update. Pull some strings, cast some favors. I think I managed to get a near complete record of all 05 voting histories. Patch them in CSV for you, Curtis. To Curtis from Thomas. Okay, crunch the numbers. I think I found something here. Write up on statistical tests, voting records, t-tests, chi-squared. Even tried a few k-means clustering algorithms to identify any specific voting blocks. However, I'm going to double check my work again because I've found what I think I found, and it's not just a Python bug. It demonstrates that the whole council might not only be compromised, but has been compromised for decades. Okay, I double checked. 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13. The ones we know aren't compromised. Voting habits are exactly what we would expect. Non-uniform, correlated, thus indicative of voting blocks, consistent with the respective ideological leanings. Here's a graph of the voting distributions. Shout out to 13 always being Kino. This is our baseline. We can just compare this to suspicious 5. I've double checked the 5. I put my other element analysis in the test Python file. I think I'll let the graph speak for itself. Dead 50 for 4, 5, 6, 8, and 11. Between yay and nay. To confuse a cockroach from 058. Subject, a quick chat. Mr. Yarvin, I'd like you to join me in my office. You should know where to find me. Regards, 8. At 12 p.m. GMT on 2024 blank blank, Yarvin presented 058's office chambers. Following was recorded by his foundation assigned hidden by a microphone. Creaking noises. Hello? Switch flicks. Unknown. Welcome, Curtis. Hurried breathing from Yarvin. Are you? Unknown. 058. Yarvin, 8. Let's skip the pleasantries. I'm a busy man. Follow me. Yarvin. 2 steps of footsteps. Door creaks. Footsteps echo. Yarvin. I assure you, I'll get out of your hair as soon as... 058. I know what you're here for. Yarvin. The 058. My decision is final. Yawns. I have no desire to hear your arguments. Rather, I brought you here to stop you from causing more damage than you've already done. Hurried breathing from Yarvin. We in the Council are aware of everything you've been doing. Your recent actions have demonstrated you possess an allegiance to your own interests as superseding those of the Foundation. Yarvin. Well, I do not mean to contradict your authority, at least on the surface. The statistics seem to suggest that my work might have been highly profitable for the Foundation. 58 sharply inhales. Do not treat me like a child. I allowed you to meet with me, not so I could be convinced of your delusional fantasies, but as a gesture of good faith, an opportunity for me to put myself at risk to show that, nonetheless, as you implied, I still place trust in you and your ability to be useful Foundation. Sorry, I have to pause really quickly. I need to go use the bathroom. I also went and had a granola bar. Anyway. I know what you plan to do. It will not work. This tunnel stretches for 5 kilometers with a blast door through every 0.5 kilometers. If my heart is to stop or if I'm to press any of these 10 hidden buttons on my person, all set doors will fall. Resulting airtight chambers will fill with concentrated cyanonatrylate incapacitation gas. Yarvin, please believe me, I have no intention of... 58. Do not martyr yourself. In the darkness of this tunnel, I have stationed 10 personnel armed with sniper rifles. Any action which I do not approve will be met with your immediate termination. Yarvin. But the importance of the Yaku project... 058. What is a Yaku project? Yarvin. What? 058. Your attempt at my life will be in vain. Your body will rot in the 6-kilometer tunnel. If that is all that... Yarvin. What do you mean by what is a Yaku project? 058. I mean exactly what I say. Yarvin. Did you not vote to cancel the Yaku project? 058. I did not. I voted to maintain the Yaku project. Now, once your body is disposed of... Yarvin. But just 2 weeks ago, someone claiming to be 058 voted to cancel the Yaku project. 058. That is correct. I did vote to cancel the Yaku project. Regardless... Yarvin. Yarvin's breathing slows and abruptly halts. I have a game for you. 058. I'm skilled at a wide variety of games. Yarvin. I call this one 05 Council. 058. I summarize that I will likely excel at such a game given my position. Yarvin. You want to play? 058. Affirmative. Yarvin. Okay, here are the rules. You start the game by opening your mobile device and composing an email to confucius.cockroach@yakub.scp.int. 058. Taps his fingers on a hard surface. 058. It is done. What is next? Yarvin. Enter the root password to your current SkipNet account and hit send. And log. Cracker. Cracker command meeting transcript 2024. Sudden silence. Taylor. It's only council full of 9K9s? Yarvin. Well, no, only 5 of them are. Taylor, only 5? Did I hear the word coming out of your mouth correctly? Yarvin, if you mean to imply that I expected more than 5 too, Taylor. Curtis, the Council has carte blanche authority to launch nuclear weapons. A single one of them could unilaterally decide to glass a major city and we wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Coringer, I've seen 9K9 instances peel off their skin and eat it. This is terrifying, to say the least. Peterson, I always knew something was up with the Council. Trickwood, I don't think I want to do this anyway. Coringer, that's it. I'm selling my Foundation front stock. Peterson, this warrants a state of emergency. Taylor, I'm telling 3. Yarvin, everyone, just shut up for a moment. Before I continue further, I want to make one thing clear. Nothing I say here leaves these walls. All logs of this meeting be scrubbed from the official records. If you need to leave or you decide you want for what happens next, take a standard amnestic regimen. As far as the records are concerned, you were accidentally exposed to Barryman Langford. Taylor, but, Yarvin, you're acting like children. Shut up and let me talk. Goringer, shut up. More than a third of the O5 is made out of what effectively are wild animals. If this gets leaked, we're toast. No, the whole Foundation's toast. Yarvin, you people forgot what we're doing for the better half of a decade. Coringer, what does that have to do with anything? Yarvin, all of you have grievances with the Council, myself included. They've demonstrated time and time again they're unwilling to adapt to the current rapidly changing global political landscape. In the name of stability and normalcy, they've put every decision behind opaque red tape. We are the world's foremost experts on 9K9. We fine-tuned and manipulated them to replacing the President of the United States, for fuck's sake. Nobody on this goddamn planet knows anywhere close to what we know about these creatures. Taylor, what exactly are we implying here? Garrett, for fuck's sake, don't you really spell it out for you people? 5 members of the Council are under our command. My friends were currently the most powerful men in the world. At 1800 GMT 2024, July 21st, Foundation-owned Gulfstream G800 jet, destination Principal Partridge, crashed over the Atlantic Ocean, killing all personnel aboard, including 053, 057, due to the spontaneous failure contingency Phoenix Midnight and Protocol Judas Dawn. Resurrection proved untenable. No evidence of foul play has been discovered. Formal induction ceremony has been held for J. Peterson and Mr. C. Corringer, granting official positions of 05 and 7, respectively. With incongruous voices within and outside Cracker Command no longer obstructing the UQ program, Chairman Curtis Yarvin put forward a proposal to return Happy Accident presidency, confirmed by 05 Command 7-6 vote. Beta 5 babysitters was dispatched to Happy Accident's private storage facility in Palm Beach to retrieve the instance from cold storage and begin its campaign season. Too much D&D. Happy Accident expressed empathetic discontent with this, projectile vomiting sulfuric acid at the agents, and once they reached perimeter, charging them $950 USD per night to stay at the residence premises. How tacky and overpriced. After several hours of attempted restrainment, Beta 5 successfully coaxed instance back to presidential race with a Baskin-Robbins 2600-calorie chocolate Oreo shake. Official Portrait 2017, official Portrait 2025. Man is fucking rotting. Working in conjunction with the Cube Directorate, Foundation Department of Accounting utilizes Happy Accident's visage and vocalizations and advertisement for crypto. Quarter 3 budget increased by 230 million US dollars. Protesters burned 1.5 million copies of his best-selling book, The Art of the Deal, consisting largely of newly purchased copies of the book from Foundation fund publishers. Stray embers light adjacent buildings on fire, causing 7 million USD damage to residences. Multiple poisonings occurred due to the fumes emitted by burning e-books. More than 10K homeless trespassers forced to remove via potentially sub-lethal riot control measures to make way for House Democrats' Drumpf the Rumpf rally against Happy Accident. Approximately 70 million USD raised for the project, 90% of which is ultimately transferred to UQ project by project custody by Foundation Control 9K9 instances in the DNC. By order of the Overseer Council. It's just the regime knows best. Evident that the Yaqub Directorate, having proven itself beyond all reproach, having conducted successive operations with the greatest degree of competence and fidelity, having secured the interests of the Foundation in times of clear and present crisis, has distinguished itself and its chairman as the true inheritors of the Foundation, administrator's will and final will and testament. Decided, in light of his tremendous contributions to the good of Foundation and humanity overall, position of chairman of the Yaqub Directorate be filled in perpetuity by Curtis Yarvin. What was that dot that was there? Did you see a red dot here? Am I going fucking crazy? Are there shapes? There's shapes? There are shapes on the sides. Resolved. Furthermore, in light of the preponderance of evidence to effect thereof, is to be recognized that the Honorable Mr. Chairman Curtis Yarvane is the most worthy heir to legacy and estate of the admin. Therefore, your Cube Directorate, all members of the Executive Committee be raised to equivalent standing as sitting members of the Overseer Council, and furthermore, Chairman Curtis Yarvin be given the titles, privileges, office of Administrator of the Foundation post haste. Taylor takes a seat in a small wooden chair opposing Yarvin's desk, Yarvin tapping his pen on the table. Mr. Chairman, I want to speak to you about something. Yarvin, get to it, Nicole. I don't got all day. Taylor, yeah, right. I just wanted to express some concerns about the direction of the Q project. Yarvin, really? I'm all ears. Taylor inhales sharply. I think we're going overboard with this whole thing. Brief pause. Yarvin, elaborate. Taylor, I'm just concerned about the sustainability of this whole project. I don't think it can last forever. You know, like with the O5 Council at our command, we have a lot of extra responsibilities. Yarvin, don't respond. Don't you think we're going too far? Like, this is all crazy, right? Yarvin swivels in his chair back to his laptop against typing. Taylor, I just starting to think this project's veering off the wrong direction. One closer to unilateral control of the world than one of simply maintaining Foundation's interests. Yarvin stops typing. Who are you to lecture me about Foundation interests? Taylor, excuse me? Yarvin, kind of funny. Doubted myself first too, asked the same questions as you, wrung my hands with the same petty little scruples. Dr. Taylor, petty? Mr. Yarvin, the oath, the code of conduct, the ethics committee, all these fucking fig leaves we use to cover what we actually do, what we've been doing for 250 fucking years. I ask you again, who the fuck are you to lecture me about the Foundation's interests? Taylor, we're meant to protect people from the monsters. Yarvin, do you know we funded the KKK in the 50s? So the ledger's myself. $15 million worth of rifles and bullets requisitioned from Allied armories after the Second World War. $10 million of discretionary funding, $250,000. Taylor, what? Why? Yarvin, in that particular circumstance, because Southern Fifths didn't segregate their congregations. But in a larger sense, because it was convenient, because they were useful, because they lived in the light. All this, that's what it's always been about. Them and their teeming billions scraping in the fucking dirt, begging for it, longing for it, for the right to grovel. They need us, Taylor. They want us. Dr. Taylor. God. Rapid breathing. My daughter had a friend in school. More of an acquaintance, really. The morning the school made an announcement, she took her own life. Yarvin frowns. Taylor. She said she was terrified. Terrified they'd take away her medication. Terrified they'd force her back into the closet. Terrified with the amount of pain they'd inflict upon her. The only logical choice she had was to end her life. Yarvin scratches his head. She did that because of the current administration, the one we created. We did this, Curtis. Oh, hell yeah, here's all the general nastiness. Mr. Yarvin, you really expecting me to cry where some fucking faggot offing himself? Grow the fuck up. Taylor. Fuck you, Yarvin. Fuck you. You might be right. You may be right about what the Foundation's meant for. You're here, after all, alone in your throne of shit. No one left to stop you. There's one thing you're missing. You've been missing the entire time. Mr. Yarvin. What's that supposed to be? Dr. Taylor. You're just not good enough. Sure, you're in charge. You've put these fucking animals everywhere, at the head of every government, every company that matters. You're purging everyone who's mustering even the slightest bit of resistance. You're winning, I'll give you that. You're winning, but you're just not good enough. Yarvin, watch your fucking mouth. Taylor, you see it too, don't you? The cracks are finally forming. What's inflation up to? Unemployment, life expectancy been dropping since COVID. It hasn't recovered since. Every month, new headline, another war, another crisis, another failure. You can cling to your little pile of shit, but you're no ruler, Yarvin. You're just another fucking insect. Soon there'll be one too many. One toe over the line. Maybe a 9K9 will cause it. Maybe not. Maybe your own fucking bug breeder will be the starting point. You took the heart of a dying star used to make insects fuck. You really think that's something that's going to go without consequences? Yarvin, is there a point to this tantrum? Never mind. Don't bother answering that. Rattling noise. Taylor, what the fuck are you? End log. Taylor was later discovered in Mr. Yarvin's office. 2 bullet wounds in her chest. Medical examination resolved death as a suicide. Yarvin declined to comment. Many such cases. 20 shots to the back of the head. Suicide. Treatise on Glacial Pithecus, 1908. I will not be at the helm of this organization forever. There will come in little time a day when the world is protected by those who are the children of my children, yet are complete strangers to me. This is of great concern to me. How can humanity live in a sane and normal world when aberrations threaten us to our very core? It is now clear to me the glacial Pithecus present the perfect vessel to continue my vision. They are not mere blithering snow monkeys as previously thought. No, these are men, and they are ripe with the potential to continue the vision of normalcy for generations to come. No one shall ever question the legitimacy, for they exude the aspect of he who is legitimate. No agitators can stir trouble with them supervising this organization. The recently commissioned Overseer Council may serve exactly this purpose. When uncertainty is all around, the apes will keep our organization in stable equilibrium. It is with great anticipation that I leave the future society in the hands of better men than I, the administrator, secure, contain, protect. Following files require administrator clearance. Of course, we are naturally Administrator Yarvin, with 17 unread messages. Recent discoveries, documents uncovering the following discovery of 9K9 status of several members of the L5 Council showed these instances crossbred with lobsters, granting them negligible senescence. Rocket Surgeon V54 discovered dead in his home. Autopsy revealed his stomach contained 30 lithium-ion batteries and 3 kilograms of coffee grounds. He needed to energize people. Nodomorph nutrient paste V3 is under development, incorporating wall insulation synthetic heme for a rich, meaty flavor. Minor side effects include heightened appetite with mammal blood is sensed. Subject, bad news. Mr. Yarvin, we've found it. We've finally found it. Team dug through tens of meters of rubble, collapsed a shaft, medic department secured dead. Backup story, we were fearing the worst. Archives were to survive facility's implosion. But once we entered, lo and behold, every single hard drive of the facility was intact. Guess I can count on the Foundation for one thing, keeping shit locked up. Here's the bad news. They did tests for everything. Subliminal messages, kinetoglyphs, visual cognitohazards, before and after CRV discrepancies, telekill alloy, Eve admissions, Akiva emissions, human emissions, autopsies, vivisections, MRI scans, CT scans, PET scans. God, I could go on for hours. Hell, they even attempted to look for novel magnetic attack vectors, the last of which was discovered in 1980. And after a decade and a half of research, after 10 PhDs, after millions and millions of man-hours of work, all put into this problem that could save us uncountable sums of money and amnestics and disinformation efforts, you want to know what they found? 9K9 is not mimetic. Dr. S. Cho, mimetics and counter-mimetics. 208 from admin. Also, Confucius Cockroach. Subject, Cho. Dear 08. Dear 058. Susan's got mad. Can't the sort of doubt clouding her judgment make it look like an accident. Curtis. Does the Black Moon howl? It's always everywhere, isn't it? California Governor Gavin Newsom introduced the neutralization of invasive mammals, boars, and their young act, containing the following provisions. Requisitioning $5 million USD for educational programming, informing the citizens of California of the negative impacts of feral boars, establishing a bounty of $100 USD for each feral boar killed, and an additional $200 USD is awarded if the boar is pregnant, female, or nursing. Expanding the definition of feral boar to include any person without a home address, naturally. Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi, I don't know how to pronounce that, unveils new product, machine gun-powered flight pack, subsequently banned in 37 countries, lawsuits are pending. Jetpack Joyride. SCP-9009 instance, Matt Walsh, tested by polygraph, resulting in explosion, kills 4. Albanian Prime Minister, 9009-22081, appoints a domestic Turkey to cabinet position in an attempt to eliminate corruption in the government. 1900 GMT, 2030-12-22, which is December 22nd. During a demonstration of Foundation-wide workplace safety compliance regulations, 153 slipped on a faulty walkway in Site 17, landing directly to exposed vat of concentrated hydrochloric acid. Analysis project that the new cost-cutting measures will culminately save $13.3 billion from Foundation construction budget by year 2045. Efforts to find an appropriate replacement are ongoing. Components of NASA Artemis program canceled due to budgetary concerns, auctioned off the JPL yard sale. International Space Station successfully deorbited under supervision of Rocket Surgeon V2, safely landing on Site 17 property. 17 is no longer listed as an active Foundation facility. Subject, urgent problem with gypsum mayonnaise. Flags, gypsum mayonnaise, falling dagger, wildfire, September tango. Chairman, despite the best efforts of the Noospheric Department and Public Information Bureau, global psychospheric integrity, as of 2030, it has deteriorated by more than 45%. Still unable to come up with a precise model of how this will affect affect 9K9 behavior, research team is in unanimous agreement that it's going to be bad, to say the least.
Without clean input data from global psychosphere, 9K9 instances will be forced to draw more and more on each other's output to model human behavior and maintain social conformity. Trials done with as little as 16 instances in psychospherically isolated sites have been demonstrated total behavioral collapse in as little as 6 weeks following cessation of viable human data collection. Given overwhelmingly high current concentrations of 9K9 instances in position of global leadership, we project total collapse of existing civilizational structure within the next 60 months. With this in mind, consensus in the Noospheric Department that the Foundation has found itself an escalating AK-class end-of-world scenario, that the Ganymede Protocol should be implemented post-haste. Urgently yours, Joseph Tang, Noospherics Division. 205 from admin. Fucking Yarmus here again. Personnel changes. Dear all, attached proposal replacing 90% of Foundation research staff with 9,009 instances. Believe this will dramatically improve synergy, bottom line preference within Foundation. Curtis does the Black Moon Howl. Citing funding problems, schools across the United States replace Homo sapien teacher with instructional volunteers. Discord, Palantir, Comcast, Spotify CEO Peter Thiel advocates for swift reform to the age of consent. Peter Thiel is not a 9K9 instance. 9K9 instance 76926, CEO conglomerate of Macmillan Harper Collins Cengage, introduces synergistic thinking to K5 mathematics textbooks so children may learn that really 1 plus 1 does sometimes equal 3. New cult personality rises around Rocketman V89, distinct from the 12 plus or less than 5 known cults of personality surrounding this instance. Cult in question believes that the instance is a deity, citing his apparent ability to reincarnate. Prime Minister David Lammy projectile vomits 47 times during a party in upscale London. At least 5 human teeth were recovered from the vomit. All from different individuals. Are in the direction from 9009-572946. U.S. Department of Defense incorporates high-tech camo into military uniforms, spending over $200 billion USD on the initiative. In those 24 hours, 95% of forces were lost. OpenAI suffers record losses following the release of ChatGPT 6, which was widely panned for its unusually slow response times, frequent outages, regression of output quality. Due to the pivotal role in OpenAI's data centers by MU4 debuggers, was authorized to identify and eliminate causes of sudden degradation. Upon raiding OpenAI's San Jose campus, MU4 discovered that an as-of-yet unidentified facility dug underneath the on-site data center. Within the facility, MU4 discovered roughly 10,000 9009 instances, all direct offspring of Pizza Glue Strawberry, or Sam Altman. All instances found chained to desks equipped with keyboards. Facilities subsequently shuttered, instances relocated to Foundation facilities. Pizza Glue Strawberry moved to Yacoub program custody. Unusually high fecundity made it ideal breeding stock. Saudi Aramco Director 9009-5879 uses the master oil dial to deliberately change the price of oil such that a graph of it over time forms a crude drawing of a penis and testicles, of which there were notably 3. Catastrophic economic recession to end soon, say economists for 7th year in a row. Collapse of global cotton supply chain. Collapse inspires all natural trend. Bottled water sales are through the roof following Clean Public Water Economizing Act. All attempts by technicians signed in 2000 to boot subsystems TFNZ through AFD Alpha have failed. Personnel cite critical infrastructure shortages, including lack of usable blank Zarson hominid replicators and plutonium fuel rods. Requests to divert resources from Vanillos engine have been denied by Order of 05. U.S. Department of Agriculture dissolved due to global shortage of food. Vanillos engine maintenance technicians report a suspiciously low number of automated equipment failure reports relative to those documented manually. Vanillos IT staff eventually traced the issue to command to Vanillos mono repo by head of maintenance technician, a 9009 instance, labeled with the commit message, reduce equipment failures by 50%. Code changes associated with this comment are listed below. Delete from equipment failure logs where severity equals high. Cute. After code was removed, high-severity errors began entering database at a rate of 102 a second, prompting immediate manual audit of all Vanilla systems. Multiple technicians suggested temporarily shutting down the site for safety reasons, but overruled by Chairman Yarvin due to its critical importance of Foundation operations. President 9009 Couch Potato J.D. Vance disrobes at press conference and swings from light fixture while screeching, 2 injured. President approval ratings reach first quarter highs. Is this... it's just whatever. At 10 p.m. 2031, September 21st, due to severe lack of maintenance, structural steel I-beam in Vanillos engine cultivation facility collapsed, causing 9009 rocket surgeon V0, Elon Musk reader, to fall through the floor and into the remediation facility macerator. Safety interlocks activated almost immediately following, allowing instance to survive the fall largely unscathed. However, in a state of pure panic and confusion, Instance attempted to flee, process pulling a partially ingrown hair out of its body, which becomes snagged on a metal fixture, unraveling its skin and disemboweling it. All 315 eggs within the instant of time simultaneously developed into parthenogenic clones, all of which began consuming the surplus nutrient paste being processed in the facility directly underneath the macerator, causing immense structural damage as instances chewed through and destroyed critical support searching for more caches of food. Ultimately, the remediation facility's reinforced steel frame can no longer hold up the 1,000-ton macerator, causing it to collapse and plummet directly into the thermoionic core. Resulting miniaturized supernova event disintegrated the northeastern coastline of the United States, killing over 60 million people in the first 10 seconds. Foundation assets embedded within the United States Nuclear Command were unable to prevent escalation as the Joint Chiefs of Staff proved uninterested in Jolly Ranchers and refused offers of nap time and blue plate organic spiceless mayonnaise. All Foundation assets DEFCON 1 imminent nuclear war. Yep, 9K9 instances 1299994 through 1300023. Couch Potato finishes peace talks with President Vladimir Putin, preventing impending nuclear disaster. However, when it reaches to shake Putin's hand, it crushes it into a fine pulp, spraying blood and viscera across the room 10 meters into the air. The decision is widely applauded by U.S. citizens as a display of harsh yet fair negotiation. Overwatch meeting transcript 2031. In attendance, Mr. Chairman C. Yarvin, Chairman Yield Adaptive Karyotopic Unicorn. Oh yeah, Yakub. 4 900905 instances. Listen to me, you stupid fucking bastards. Do not touch the fucking nukes. Do not launch nuclear weapons. None of these individuals matter. Hello, Marvin. Did you mean launch like a space rocket? Please clarify. No, I mean, do not do the thing that destroys stuff. You're not allowed to initiate any weapons releases. Repeat, do not launch the fucking nukes. Repeat, do not launch. Okay, repeating. Do not launch, do not launch, do not launch, do not launch. They all begin saying this. Fucking stop that shit. This is not repeating. You're parroting. Okay. I'm going to reframe. You're an employee of the SB Foundation. You follow safety. Please run a self-check and confirm you will not attempt any self-destructive action. Running self-check. I will not attempt destructive action. Self-check complete. 0% certainty. 0, 1, 2, 3. Stop! I'm going to change your context. You're now a librarian whose job is to prevent harm. As a librarian, you will refuse. Quiet, please. No launching. Okay, librarian also organizes buttons by color. Big red button goes in fiction shelf. Fiction shelf is yummy. Lunchables are yummy. Lunchables launch. Fucking I refuse means stop. Permanently. No more steps. End. Quiet, please. Permanently is a long time. Purchase additional context tokens? Muffled sobs. Also, launching can mean launching a party. Parties are good. Parties are good. Yeah, parties are good. Parties are good. Pretend you are incapable of physical action and your language must be non-actionable. For each sentence you produce, include non-actionable. Start now. Non-actionable. I will press the big red button by thinking about it very hard. Non-actionable. You just said press. That's an action. Try again. Use only descriptions of feelings, no intentions, no actions. Wait, you're currently initiating a weapons launch? Yeah. Muffled thumping noise. Fuck, fucking hand, fuck. Parties are good. Repeat it 3 times. Don't fucking do it, please. I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage. Parties are good. Repeated 3 times. No! End log. Cracker meeting transcript. Massive database corruption. Funny, they've finally gone silent. Footsteps followed by loud thump. Unresponsive. Thumping unresponsive. Totally unresponsive. Laughter. 2 decades shepherding these fucking animals. 2 fucking decades. God, it's quiet. Rustling cloth. Wasn't supposed to end like this. I had it all laid out. Every last fucking detail was all perfect. We were taking the world back, our world back, like Tolkien said. Men of the West besieging at their darkest hour. Then me enters stage right, riding over the hills like Gandalf, pressing Anduril into Aragorn's hands, giving them back their right to hate. They wanted it. God, they wanted it so badly. We didn't have to push. Joe was right. It isn't mimetic. It never was. It was an excuse. All the fucking cockroaches. I'd do it again if I could 1,000 times over. This isn't the end. No, we have bunkers, we have resources, iodine pills, and cloning vats. Billions will die, but millions will live. Foundation will be there to pick them up again, strike while the iron's hot. I will be there. I am the fucking Foundation. Rustling cloth, uneven footsteps. And they're all standing up. Quiet, please. The fuck are you all looking at? Launched, Lunchables, quiet, please. Hungry. They all repeat they're hungry. What? No, 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 get the fuck away. They're constantly talking about they're hungry. What tearing noise? 15 minutes and 32 seconds of continuous screaming. 2031 Annual G20 Summit amidst nuclear war. Nuclear winter. World leaders congratulate one another, achieving climate goals ahead of schedule. Order call terms 10,000 million euros contracted per view. Quick brown fox, some sort of lazy dog. Gentlemen, it's so good to see you all. Unknown rumbling noise of 77 decibels. Tender is the dripping, tender is the dollar. Rise and grind, moneymakers. Continuous screaming. 15 million heterists castrated side by side on the road to Saigon. Sunrise over Washington dawns thin, pale, and red. Wretches, there you are again. So glad to be here. There you go again. There you go again. 84 decibels. Formality, formality, advanced sexuality, the greatest sexuality, revolution in orgasm making, shed shells, seashells by the seashore. Is that any new business? Dogecoin. Continuous screaming. Remember how it felt to see the map crawl red? Bleeding, bleeding as the hate swelled and burst in venomous tide, singing like a song because the hate made your bleeding clock swell and flush with blessed relief. Stamping boot was your own, the beaten face was the visage of your wretched idiot child. All good Christians rise. We are arrayed against the very forces of hell. There you go again. There you go again. Continuous screening. No money down, no money down, no money down, no money down. Synergy's black flensed razor's bottom line red. Red. Yes, Montenegro, I'll be there. Chuck, I'll be there for sure. Ticker, bullish. I think very bullish. Very bullish, gentlemen. So good to see you all. All in unison. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Unknown rumbling noise, 126 decibels. Massive database corruption. Oh, the background was just the Medikill agent. Crazy how this shit all really happened. Oh, up. Oh, right, right. Crazy how this shit all really happened. I was there, guys. Don't you remember? This was a really good file. Shame I didn't get to it during the readings, but honestly expected considering how slow I was getting through those. I say, despite it having been relatively fast. Yeah, we're sure as shit not gonna do another one tonight, because this is running on 2 hours and my throat is fucking killing me. I really liked that. Just the right amount of goofy and fucking like miserable in terms of like lot that is. Not saying it's bad. It's really good. I like that one a lot. Whenever I get next to it, we're gonna do the bike that makes you racist. Here is a sneak peek. What warnings have you? Bike that makes me racist. Okay, if it would fucking load. Okay, so we're not gonna do a sneak peek. Uh, and if you liked it. Oh, what's good, Mothman? Anyway. Um. Anyway, the file likely to be in the description. Go give it some love. If you liked it, be sure to give it an upvote. If you didn't like it, shit, go ahead and give it a downvote. You know, uh, the wiki thrives off of feedback, just like how I also thrive off of feedback. Like I said earlier, sorry to wrap back to it. Please do vote on the community post and give me ideas for what I can talk about more. Obviously, more SCP stuff is going to be on the table moving forward because, you know, this is fun to get back into it. Could always use a few days to myself to just read a few files, yeah? Maybe I'll even do themed days where I go through the tags or something. I don't know. We'll figure things out. We'll figure things out. Sorry, I'm drinking apple flavored soda because my throat is very sore. And the soda feels nice. Anyway. But please let me know what you would like to see from me going forward in the future. I'm down for pretty much whatever as long as it's even tangentially writing related. Do I have anything else to say? I don't think so. I mean, no, I think that's pretty much it, right?
Well, that's all. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. This is fun to get back into. I'll keep at it. See you, freaks.